pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gracious Father, we thank you that we have the opportunity to live in a free country. And Lord, we thank you for your wisdom to be present as business is discussed and plans made for the good of this community and the surrounding areas. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from last week's meeting.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from last week's meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Make a motion that we approve the claims in the amount of, not the claims. You want to do the claims?
In the amount of $617,272.63.
I'll second that motion. Been moved and seconded to approve the claims in the amount of $617,272.63. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. I'll make a motion that we approve ads and abates 2025-05 and 2025-297 through 307 for a negative $9,465.92.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved and seconded to approve the claims. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Are there any changes to the agenda?
There is. The health department will not be here today. And on old business, Economic Development Board, Jennifer Leach Harlow will not be here due to a funeral.
Okay. Okay, anything else?
I don't have anything.
I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second that motion.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. AMR?
Right, good morning, Don Brooks with AMR. I have this last week's ambulance report from April 26th to May 3rd. Blue Mound had 2 calls, 1 transport. Lacine had 15 calls, 5 transports. Mound City, 13 calls, 6 transports. Pleasanton, 16 calls, 4 transports for a total of 46 calls and 16 transports. The average response time was 13 minutes and 52 seconds.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thank you, Don. We don't have the sheriff's report? Okay. Fire? Brian?
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Shore, Linn County Fire. This week's calls, we had 5 medical assist, 2 motor vehicle accidents, 2 crash detections, 1 structure fire, 1 smoke investigation, and 1 vehicle fire for a total of 12 calls. And then I would like to bring up Randy's helmet. So when chiefs have left in the past, we've let them take their helmet with them. I would like to ask the commission to give him his old helmet.
I don't have issues with it. Doug, we gave Doug his and he
Okay.
lost, so
It's fine with me.
I'm good with it.
Any questions?
Nope. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
Emergency management, Linda?
I'll separate this out moving forward.
I just,
Good morning, Commissioners. Linda
Good morning.
Simons, Emergency Management. The only thing I really have is a reminder that tonight, Jacob Lanier, meteorologist from Fox 4, is going to be in Pleasanton at the community center to give a weather presentation. He's going to talk on severe weather, and then he's going to kind of recap the storms that went through on the 13th. So I want to encourage everybody to come to that. And
What time?
6:30.
6:30. Okay.
6:30. So that's all I've got unless you've got questions.
thank you, Linda.
Mhm.
Treasurer?
Good morning, Joni Reed, Treasurer. I just have two things. One, I need to talk to you for non-elected personnel for maybe 10 minutes, may not take that long.
Okay.
Two, I just wanted to thank the county and Craig Haley from the Sheriff's Office and everyone in the county that helped clean up Sugar Valley. My brother was one of those campers that was up on the top of the hill that was destroyed. And they, everybody just cleaned it up. I didn't have to lift a finger except for picking up a few things to save for my brother. So I just want to say thank you. And that's it.
Okay. Do we want to go ahead and do the executive session?
Who needs to be in for the executive
Um,
session?
all of you, legal and the commish for sure.
Okay.
And Chastity?
Sure.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we go into a 10-minute executive session. KSA 754319B1, non-elected personnel with the three commissioners, legal counsel, and the clerk and treasurer.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We will return at 9:18. Are we back? All right, there's no action from executive session. GIS mapping, Jason?
Morning, everybody. Jason Parker, our GIS Administrator. Just wanted to give a quick update. April 7th, we had our department head meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled to be June 9th. We created the GIS at linncountyks.com for general map print requests. That's in case one of us is out of the office. That way we can have everything done in a timely fashion. I helped with the clerk street file cleanup. I had a Zoom meeting with the state and the voting clerk. I received a street file with 1,200 separate lines in a spreadsheet. It took about 3 weeks. I mapped all that out. She was at a conference last week. I plan to get with her probably today or tomorrow to go over that and to get everything cleaned up for them. Road and Bridge, we had approximately 20 culverts that they hadn't updated us on, so they got that to us and we updated that layer for them. The Pub Works to G Works, I had a meeting with them. I created an online user account and got that set up for them. Printed multiple maps for planning and zoning. The storm cleanup, we printed 6 24 by 24 maps and I hand delivered them to their EOC. We attended the after action meeting with emergency management, started working on the continuity of operations plan. I created a new emergency landing zone map for emergency management. Created individual town shape files for emergency management with all utilities. That took 3 or 4 days to do. We had quite a few layers to do that. IT helped with an Outlook issue on my laptop. I wanted everything running just in case of a disaster. And I had a Mark region update with a few 911 addresses. There were a few of them we are having issues with, but everything's been resolved. And the last thing I have is our Esri software is up for renewal. Wanted to get your approval. It's going to be $29,300 to renew this year.
How much?
$29,300
And that's for how long?
per year.
Per year?
And that's in your budget?
Yes, we budget that for every year for that.
Okay. Is it an increase over last year?
No, it's the same. It's always 29.3.
Okay. I'll make a should we wait on Chastity?
What's that?
Should we wait on Chastity or do?
Yeah, she's back now.
Okay. It's all right.
What were you asking?
I was just getting ready to make a motion.
I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion that we allow GIS mapping to spend $29,300 on the Esri software.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's all I have for, you have any questions for me?
Nope. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Public Works, IT, did you have something? Public Works?
If you're okay with it, we'll let planning and zoning and transportation go first.
Okay, it's fine. Good morning.
Grace Kellum, planning and, or not planning and zoning, sorry. Office manager and then transit manager. I'm just bringing in two resolutions, 2026-15 and 2026-16 for you guys to sign.
Can you explain them a little bit? I mean, just so the public knows if you.
So the first resolution that I'm bringing in is 2026-15, and it is for emergency management and sheriff to use our buses or vans anytime there is a national disaster, and they can call and they can come and get our vans to either transport supplies or people from their houses if need be to safety. And the other one that I'm bringing in is a new resolution that the transit is putting forth where they can now make up to 5 stops on one trip. So it used to be when they called in, they would go to their appointment and they have to come straight home. And now transit is updating it to now if they go to appointment, but then they need to go to Walmart or Dollar Tree, they can make up to 5 stops with the people on their bus or van.
Okay. You have any issue with those?
I don't have any issue with either.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-15.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded to pass resolution 2026-15. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion, we approve resolution number 2026-16, authorizing the emergency use of Linn County transportation vehicles and resources.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to pass 2026-16. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I had. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jenny?
Good morning, Commissioners. I put together the ordinance or the regulations for the vicious dogs and multi-dog ownership, so I just want to talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
I know some of this may not be possible. I did talk to the city police chief in Lacine, and he said we could definitely work out something with them, whether we rent a space or buy. They're getting ready to put in a indoor facility, so it may be possible that we could even buy one unit, one stall, if we, depending on what you want to do with this.
Okay.
Now, they would, if we chose to, just on a contract type deal to take care of it for us.
On a
Right.
per day.
Per
Right.
day.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that would be better.
That's what I'd like to see myself.
Okay.
You know, where we don't have something to
Okay.
take care of, but, I just have some questions on here, and I don't, like the barking and the things, I don't know that, I think we're just creating a load for you that we cannot, that we have no way of
Policing.
policing and enforcing the
Right.
rules, is what I'm saying. I just,
And I wondered about striking some of that, and I wanted to get everything in there that I'd heard the complaints on, and then it's easy to take that out if we don't need it.
I'll let Jacqueline talk on this. I don't think our resolution that we have now is even legal, right? Because it's breed specific.
Yeah, the resolution that we currently have regarding dogs is specifically to a breed. And the Kansas Supreme Court has held that breed-specific regulations are not constitutional, that it has to be based on behavior. So that, for that reason, we do need to either amend or rescind or put a moratorium on enforcement on the one that we have while we continue to decide how we want to proceed.
What do you think, Jason, as far as, I mean, what's in this that you think we can enforce it, I guess?
I have the same concerns.
I just think there's a lot of issues in there that we're creating that, you know, if it's 7 o'clock in the morning when the dogs are barking or midnight, how's Jenny gonna? She gonna
Validate that.
validate that? It's just, we're just creating a lot of work for her is what I feel.
Right. I think it's a lot bigger problem than what it needs to be. So,
What can we do on a case-to-case basis, Jacqueline? I mean, if this comes up, how do we handle a case-to-case and not have all this, I guess is what my question.
I mean, to the extent that other crimes or criminal codes are being violated, citizens can call local law enforcement regarding those issues that, you know, arise. So to the extent that someone is being injured or harmed or property is being damaged, there's other codes that govern those types of
instances.
instances. And so, obviously, to the extent that someone is in danger of fearing for their life or safety or the safety of others, that, you know, triggers other Kansas law.
So moving forward, should we rescind what we have now because it's illegal, or just the moratorium, which is the best option for us?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the one that we have is not enforceable as written because it's simply breed specific and that's it. So I think there needs to be a moratorium on that. Otherwise, a motion to rescind it.
Okay.
What do you think, Ally?
I think we should make a motion to rescind the previous resolution. I agree that I think there's too much in the regulations, even with the fines and the instances. I don't think that Jenny's gonna be able to adequately enforce these regulations. If you did a moratorium, is James there today to talk about it? Because the last time I thought they were in there, they were gonna come back together and work on a few things. So has it changed at all? What I have printed out, it doesn't look like it's changed from what's in SharePoint.
We've added some things to it, limiting dog ownership, how many dogs you're allowed if they're not a working dog or a hunting dog. I think that was the biggest thing.
Well,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to put a moratorium on our vicious dog resolution until we work through this to see,
Okay.
you know, where we're at with this. Is it? That's my motion.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to put a moratorium on our vicious dog resolution until we can reevaluate it. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, anything else?
That's-
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks, Jenny.
Morning, Commissioners. Jesse Walton with Public Works. First thing I have for you this morning is a dump fee waiver for the city of Blue Mound. This is CD 26004. The address is 101 North A Street in Blue Mound, Kansas. I sent this out to you with an attached letter from the city. What they're gonna do is they're scrapping this trailer out. They're gonna take care of all the metal off of this and they'll get it hauled off and scrapped out. So they'll just be bringing the timber and the flooring over to us on that. It's not a very big structure, but they are condemning it and getting rid of it. And I told them we did have room for that one at the landfill.
Okay,
I don't have issues with it.
I don't either. Ally?
No.
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve CD 26-004 for 101 North A Street in Blue Mound, Kansas.
I'll second that.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Dust control letters have been mailed out. We've got the list out to the road shop so we can get those taken care of and get the roads prepped for that. We do not have a tentative start date yet for that, just due to the weather and getting roads fixed up. But that will be happening here soon, hopefully here in the next few weeks. The next thing I have on here, I would like to hire Zachary Reagan as the Public Works Assistant Director at the pay rate of $49,465 a year on the salary.
What was that salary again?
$49,465.
And this position will be partial replacement.
Yes, so part of his duties will be helping out, being over the landfill and over the noxious weed department to relieve a little bit of the responsibilities that I have. So he'll take care of that and then fill in wherever else.
We haven't had anybody over the landfill for a few months.
Quite some time, yes, correct.
Okay.
So he'll be over those duties to make sure things are running good out there. He does come from KDOT, so he has extensive background in road work and managing crews. So he'll be a good pick for us.
Other questions for Jesse?
I don't have any.
I don't have anything.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we allow Public Works to hire Zachary Reagan as the Public Works Assistant with a pay amount of $49,465 per year.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the next thing I had on my list here, discussing the community cleanups that have gone on this year. I attached the numbers of the prior years from 2023 to current of the tonnage of C&D and tires that we bring in. I've got a few communities that were questioned why we took out the amount of dumpsters we did this year. We gave each community 4 dumpsters, 3 for C&D and 1 for tires. I've put in my notes here. We do have a lot of people coming in from out of the county that will take advantage of these cleanups and bring in trash for us to haul off, where this is a free couple of days for the cleanup. That's why we went to the 4 dumpsters for each community bringing it in. Do you have any questions or comments or things you want to discuss on that?
Now, this year, there was only 3 communities that actually had.
That's all we had at the current moment come in. So
moment.
we still have a few more that we're taking dumpsters out. That'll go clear till the end of May. So we still have a few more to go through. So those are what we're at currently for this year.
Okay.
Well, I had one place said that there was the ones that had excessive amounts and they didn't have it fenced in where it was at, and they ended up with a lot more than the 4 dumpsters. And it's they even mentioned that they felt like they was getting a lot of excessive trash from other places that people was just loading trailers and hauling stuff into us. So I think we're there's a little abuse going on, is what I'm hearing. Maybe even out of county.
Right.
You just stayed with the 4 dumpsters, right?
We just stayed with the 4 dumpsters with each community that we took them to. So,
Okay.
And you gave them a notification ahead
yep,
of time?
everyone got notice when they would call in to schedule their time in for their community cleanup, that we were only bringing out 4 dumpsters to each community. The one community that did reach out, that had extra piled up in there, they didn't have it in their controlled area, so they couldn't shut the gate at night. People were just bringing stuff in. They ended up with a 15-yard dumpster extra that they had to hire a local contractor to haul that off to the landfill for them. So,
Just like Linn Valley here, if you look back through the years, it's like 53 ton, 60 ton. I just wonder how much of that's coming from
Within Linn Valley.
Linn Valley, or if we have people hauling it in. I thought it was a good service that we was giving to people, but if it's being abused like that, I got to question what we do next year myself.
I think doing the 4 dumpsters that we did this year was a good thing. It helped curb a lot of the extra coming in. So when they were full, and they could turn people away on that end. So
Okay.
I think it actually worked out pretty good for us this year.
Okay.
I'm fine with the 4 dumpsters.
Okay.
Now we leave it at that and go on as far as I'm concerned.
Going to make a public announcement for our road department. We are looking for another equipment operator for the south shop. So we'll be going over applications that come in for that. Our road crews have been working, trying to get all the storm damage taken care of. I'd like to get overtime approved for the next 2 weeks for our road guys, so we can continue to get things cleaned up and put back where we need to. With the roads being as wet as they are, it's been hard to get some of the tree projects finished up and get a lot of the ruts, water cuts in the road cleaned up, culverts changed out. But I'd like to get overtime approved for the next 2 weeks.
I don't have an issue with that.
I don't either.
Ally?
No.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we allow Public Works to use overtime for the next 2 weeks to help with road cleanup.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Jacqueline, do we need to discuss the Evergy bridges? Do you want an update on them or anything of that nature or we just?
Do we have we were getting our engineering, our bridge inspections?
Yep, so we've done our inspections with our end. One inspection that needs to be done on the bridge on the dam is a structural inspection. They're doing that today, this morning. So that is the last inspection that needs to be done.
Okay.
So just so everybody's aware of that.
I guess when they're wanting us to take over explain what they're wanting.
They're wanting us to take over the bridges here in the near future due to the possibility in the near future of the power plant shutting down. So if that power plant goes out of business, they don't want to be able to come down and maintain those bridges. Those bridges are on our right of ways. They have been maintaining those and taking that responsibility. That responsibility would just turn over to us for 100% of surface fixing and anything that has to do with the bridges of repairs on those costs. We would not be responsible for the spillway. That is still be controlled by Evergy, so that wouldn't be any of our responsibility.
But as long as the power plant's open, they will take all expenses.
They will help with the expenses on.
They will pay the expense.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. Yep. It'll just be our responsibility, when we take those bridges over, to continue to get the inspections done and stay up to code on those two bridges. So just so everybody is aware of that, where we're at on that. Does that sound right, Jacqueline? Okay.
Okay.
Have we received the final MOU from Evergy to review?
No, we were waiting to finish the inspections before we got that.
Okay.
We've discussed this before. I sent this out about the 4-H building, needing a new HVAC unit for the bathrooms and the kitchen. I have a cost on there for that if you want to discuss that. Or if you want me to go out and get another written bid for that.
And we've already received a bid on that, right? Or was it?
Not on the small unit, we did not. We got bids on the two big units outside, but not on the small unit. The small unit that's outside is a 3-ton unit. And if we were to put a new one in, it's not, I don't understand it, but it's not compatible with the furnace that's inside due to the coolant and whatever they put in it. Visiting with them, so the whole system would need to be upgraded and new lines ran into the furnace inside.
Just for the small units and the big units?
The big units, all we need to do is replace the heat exchanger in those. The air conditioning on the big units is still good. It's just the heat exchangers on that we've had costs on those brought in already, and we've been asked to do that again. But this little unit, we'll need to upgrade it and replace it out there.
$12,145.
That is correct.
And we have those funds available in the 4-H budget, building budget.
Excuse me, you've not exceeded the spending of the budget of 4-H, if that's what you're asking.
We haven't spent anything, have we?
I'll reach out to Joyce and confirm what has been spent and confirm with what the budget was set for. So it'll take me just a few minutes to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have anything else to talk over?
No, just give you an update of the storm damage and of tonnage that we've brought in so far. We've brought in 30 tons of storm cleanup so far. There's still more coming in with the roll-off dumpsters that we have out. We had a little over 900 tons of C&D and clean rubble that came out of the old jail when it was done. So those are all the updates I have for you at this moment. If you have any questions for me.
And it's finished.
It is. They came in and hydro-seeded it Friday evening. I think it was Thursday evening. So it's ready to go. We got a few little ruts from when the truck backed in there that we can fill in. That's not a big deal, but they're done with that. I'll come in next week and we'll go forward with issuing payment to them.
Jesse, I just have a quick question on the light pole. Did you, or are we able to get that hooked back up before Memorial Day?
I will check into that.
Okay. The American Legion is asking, and I said I would ask you again about that. We had a conversation about it.
I'm still waiting on a few documents from you on that, if you remember.
No.
Okay.
What, do you want to send me an email on it, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Okay,
The only thing I have today is the Mulberry Limestone Lacing Quarry has sent out the Kansas Water Pollution Control Permit. They'd like for you to look at.
okay. Okay, so we need a motion.
Yes, please.
What kind of motion?
He's asking you, I think, what kind of motion.
Are you asking for a motion for the public notice?
What are we motioning for, is I guess what I'm asking.
So that communication is from KDHE and it is indicating a public notice for those various permits so
Right.
that the public has the right to object to those by the deadline, which I think it says on there is May 30th. And it's not an objection to you all as county commissioners, it's an objection to KDHE.
Right. So why would we have a motion then, or?
Or can I just put them in the newspaper?
Chastity, are those in SharePoint?
No, it was not. It did not.
Okay.
I opened it yesterday morning, sorry, when I came back in and worked.
Did this come with
Oh, that's
anything
okay.
else? This doesn't, oh,
Oh.
But that doesn't.
I was gonna say that was it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think this is what the public has to know, that KDHE has generated a public notice regarding proposed Kansas water pollution control permits for the referenced facility in the county. In accordance with KAR 28-16-61, this notice provides interested parties an opportunity to comment on or object to the issuance of the permit as being public noticed.
I believe all the neighboring landowners get that letter too.
Right, so my understanding is that the KDHE has given the county notice that they are engaging in this review and that they intend to approve this, subject to any sort of public objection that would be received by KDHE. I believe it said on May 30th. Let's see here. Yeah, persons wishing to comment on or object to the draft documents or permit applications must submit their comments in writing to the Kansas Department of Health and Environment, KDHE, if they wish to have their comments or objections considered in the decision-making process. All written comments regarding the draft documents, application, or registered notices received on or before May 30, 2026 will be considered in the formulation of the final determination regarding this public notice. So I don't necessarily think there's anything for you all to do.
Just notifying us that they sent the letters out.
Correct.
So see.
So I don't need to publicize that either.
No.
No, my understanding is that KDHE is the one who generated the public notice for the.
Okay. The next thing I have is I'm proud to announce that Cheyenne and I attended the clerks conference last week in Garden City, and we have been notified that 2 applicants that applied for the clerks scholarship are receiving that scholarship, and those names will be announced Wednesday night at their awards ceremony. So excited about that. And we also learned that we are being told to plan 4 times the amount that is currently budgeted for our budget for elections in the future. 4 times the amount. So there's going to be some hard conversations taking place in regards to potentially, definitely not written in stone because it's not been approved by you, but maybe lowering our precinct voting locations so we can have less equipment, because the current quote we have is for 165,000 plus, and if we're talking 4 times that amount, you guys, we're going to be in trouble. So something to be thinking about.
It's 165,000 now. And that's 4 times that with the amount of precinct locations we have.
And I will say, we spoke to numerous, there were 105 counties, all 105 counties were recognized out there this past week. And we sat with an individual from Butler County. They have 60,000 voters and they have less precinct voting positions than we do. 60,000 voters, and we have more voting spots than they do. So it's definitely something to think about. I know that's going to upset some of our citizens, and that's not our intent, but to make it financially efficient, we're probably going to have to do that. Not for this year, but for our future
How
years.
many locations do we have?
11.
Well,
So we will be having some conversations with you and trying to figure out, what the best possible solution will look like moving forward. But definitely wanted to put that in your thought process at this time. And that's all I have. One second, I think Joyce sent me an update on the budget that was set for the 4-H building. Last year was for this 2026 year was $29,504. And we have currently spent $7,778.22. Do you need me to read those figures again?
No.
who do you have the bid on? I mean, you got the price on this right now, right, Jesse?
Yes.
It's a bid, or what was it? Just
This is a bid to redo that HVAC unit.
It's just the HVAC, it's not the,
It's the air conditioning and the heater, both. Yes.
Who's the bid through? Is it Myrick or is it
It's my,
the other guy?
which is our approved.
contractor. Yes.
we have a contract with now. Do we know how much it costs for the other ones? I mean, to fix
I don't remember off the top of my head to fix those other ones. I can pull it up though.
I think we gotta fix it.
Say we gotta fix it. I don't know, I mean, it's gonna be needing it pretty quick.
Yeah, we're gonna be needing it here. Short amount of time.
I'll make a motion that we go with the bid from Myrick Mechanical to replace the unit, the heating and cooling unit for the bathrooms and kitchen at the 4-H building in the amount of $12,145.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
I do have one more thing, one more request. With Randy's turning in credit cards, that leaves Brian and Linda without anything. And so I'm asking for you to allow them to have credit cards. And at least 2,500, if not 5,000, that's all they can spend due to the purchasing policy, so.
Each one of them have one for them,
Separate yeah.
right? I don't have an issue with it.
And you're saying 2,500?
Mm-hmm.
Ally?
I'm fine with that. Separate, that's fine.
Make a motion to approve a credit card with spending limit of 2,500 for Linda and Brian.
I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to allow credit cards in the amount up to 2,500 for Brian Schroyer and Linda Simons. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, is that it? All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for public comment. A citizen desiring to speak on an item not on the agenda may do so at this time. Discussion is limited to 5 minutes and the commission will not take action at this time. Items introduced under public comment may become agenda items for a later time or date.
Good morning. Roger Sims of the Linn County Journal. During last week's commission meeting, there was considerable discussion about how to notify Linn County residents about dangerous weather situations. Most of the discussion revolved around the county's Everbridge system that alerts users about severe thunderstorms and tornado watches. One official suggested that in the absence of a television station that could give more, more Linn County Center weather information, that social media was the best means of pushing weather warnings out to residents. There's an inherent problem in relying mainly on using Facebook or other social media to getting the information out. Facebook uses algorithms to determine what its users see. We follow the main Facebook pages that are maintained by Linn County, Kansas departments. Those are the county Facebook page, the sheriff's Facebook page, emergency management, and Linn County Fire Department. Each one of those pages show up on our feed as we are either following it or it's a favorite. However, because we don't constantly look at those sites when there is not an emergency, we receive no notification when it's necessary to get the word out. Even when we actively search for the pages, usually in the case of an emergency, people don't have time to be jotting stuff down on Facebook. So Linn County residents can't count on Kansas City television stations to give them the priority we think we deserve, particularly when there are multiple tornado warnings closer to the metro areas, as we saw on April 13th. While Linn County doesn't have a television or radio station, we do have at least one other resource for notifying people of severe weather in a timely manner. That would be the Linn County Journal. When we began the Journal 5 years ago, our goal was to offer an alternative news source for county residents on a weekly basis. However, a couple of years ago, we began positioning the Journal as a source for local and state news that is constantly being updated. On the evening of April 13th, we began sending out mass emailing to several hundred of our email subscribers, informing them that the area was under a tornado watch. When the lid came off over Blue Mound and the rotation began, we were scanning both the area television stations and the National Weather Service website. Within a minute of the National Weather Service declaring that the area was under a tornado warning, we were able to send out a mass email followed by a Facebook post giving location and the direction of the storm. Since we received messages from county dispatch via email, we already knew that the dispatch had been notified by Allen County authorities of a possible rotation in a storm headed into southern Linn County. Once the tornado had bounced into Missouri, we were able to contact Sheriff Akes for a report, and by 11 p.m. that evening, we'd published our first story on the storm. This is not the first time we've had used our mass emails to warn of tornadoes in the vicinity. Following the April tornado and other warnings in previous years, we have received thanks from people who were in the storm's path but had received no other warning except ours. What we are asking for today is better cooperation from the Rural Fire Department and Emergency Management Office in notifying us of severe storms and other notices that affect public, like burn bans. We've been told by others that on the orders of one or more commissioners, the department heads are not to share information with the Journal. While we certainly hope that's not the case, our experience has tended to confirm those rumors. The commission a couple of years ago decided to stop advertising with the Journal. However, to withhold information, particularly on public safety issues, would run counter to the duty of elected officials and their staff to work to ensure public safety. It also speaks to the transparency by county officials. Our job is similar to emergency management, fire department, and the sheriff's office. We are here to inform the public. Our services are free, including our emails, and they're easy to access. We ask that you help us in helping you to keep your constituents informed. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Okay. Is there any other public comment? If not, we'll go ahead and close public comment. New business, Tom Kemper, ISO.
So last couple of weeks, I've done some cores. Tom Kemper, Parker. I've been doing some cores to get some information as to what went wrong in this ISO report. So, and what I found through the emails from these cores that ISO, when you go into a retrogression period, when you go backwards, they don't give you the official detail by detail report until your regression period is over. So obviously, and that doesn't make sense because how do we know what we got to do to fix our problem? Okay. So last week when I did some more cores with Randy and ISO, it's very clear that he has been communicating with them. One of the comments he made in a meeting was about some nozzles or whatever that weren't on the trucks that were supposed to be. That happens all the time. We have a 3-town fire, 3 stations reporting in the middle of the night. Stuff gets mixed up, but we usually get that put back where it needs to be. However, if he knew when ISO was coming, that would have been one of the first things that I would have done is to make sure everything's equipped. The second another part of the email is, it was talked about the lack of documentation for training. Talking to current and former firefighters, the training is way off compared to what it was years ago when we got I can't remember the exact number of points, but we scored quite a few more points with training and deployment. Okay. So whether you trained or not doesn't matter to ISO. You got to have it documented to show that you did the work. So there's 4 points of our score. Now, the other thing is, and I still haven't got it, but I did get a copy of the City of Lacine's ISO report that was done last summer. So I got a 2025 report, point by point, subcategory by subcategory, and it is almost identical to what 2017's was. So what I'm saying is nothing's changed with the way they do stuff in the last 7, 8 years. Okay, so now we go to look at water. Talking to current and former firemen, Randy does not like to use dry hydrants. Dry hydrants are part of your ISO score. He does not like to use the porta tank. If they're going tender to pumper in a water shuttle versus tender to porta tank to pumper, that is an absolute game changer. Okay, that is probably where we really suffered in our points. Okay, think about it for some of you that don't understand or don't know. So we got a pumper on scene. We set up a porta tank right behind that pumper. Okay, put a hose into that tank. That tank's 4,000 or 5,000 gallons. It's like a swimming pool. Okay, and then when we start dumping, we can dump that truck in a minute and a half. He's out of there going to get next water, bringing another truck, bringing another truck, bringing another truck. Sometimes we can use 2 porta tanks at one time. I know when we scored for this courthouse several years ago, we passed those tests because we did porta tanks. Okay. So that's one thing that can be fixed. So now you have a chief that just abruptly leaves. You got all these problems you got to fix. You got to figure out how you're going to get these fixed, or everybody's painting more come December. Okay. So, and you've got a assistant chief here that, from what I've been told, he's very good at what he does as far as supplying the stations and this, that, and the other. But what kind of experience does he have administering some of this other stuff? Okay. So you need to get working on that. The other thing that I would consider is, a couple years ago, you got rid of the fire board, okay? And I think that was a huge mistake, especially right now when you're short of help. That fire board, those guys have a lot of knowledge, can help that chief. If you look at your resolution, it clearly states, what these guys are to do. If you look at an article I pulled back from the Linn County Journal back when it appeared that Danny and Jim were really concerned about getting rid of this board, it shows that, they just didn't want that. Now, let me tell you something else. Right before that time period, the Board of Trustees was starting to question some of the things that was happening in the fire department. Red flags were showing up everywhere. They started talking about it in the Board of Trustees meetings, and all of a sudden, we don't need a board anymore. We don't need any oversight, which is exactly what we needed. Okay, and right now with this ISO report, it clearly shows what we should not have done. Okay, so what are we going to do about it? The solution, what are we going to do about it? What we need to do about it is we need to get direction and to start using these well, let me back up. The first thing we need to do, there's a gal by the name of Heather, I can't remember her last name, I got her phone number and email. She is the ISO inspector that came down and did all the work here. Okay, so she can't talk to me or anybody else, but she can talk to the commission chairman or the fire chief. The email, oh, and that was, let me back up one more time. I'm sorry. There are emails that Randy had with ISO on a Teams meeting. So Randy knows what needs to happen. Okay. But I can tell you it's water shuttle. Okay. So going forward, let's get the fire board involved. You guys can choose these people. I'm trying to think. The other thing is there's been some complaints about Public Wholesale 13. Lack of communication with our fire department. I had a core here last week. If you look at the contract you have with Public Wholesale 13, there are certain things we have to do and certain things 13 does. If we're not doing what they want and they terminate that contract, I guarantee you're going to be a 910. You're going to have the worst rates that you can have. So we want to make sure, and if you read the contract, it says when we have a fire, we call dispatch. Dispatch calls 13. So they know, hey, somebody's drawn from this tower. Or if it's a big fire, we can call them and say, hey, elevate the tower. We need the water. Okay, so there's things that all help us. The other thing too is, and I don't know if it happened or not, but one thing we did back in 2017 when we were doing our testing, because part of our normal procedure is to call 13 to raise the towers. So if you're testing and you don't have as much water as you could because your towers aren't full, that's Linn County's fault. That's Linn County Fire Bureau fault. So something to think about there. The other thing too on this water is these dry hydrants. The county has contracts with these landowners, I being one of them, and I will find it, that basically says the county can come in and use this water 24/7. It also says the county has to back flush and test these hydrants once a year. From what I understand, talking to current and former firemen, this hasn't been done for 4 or 5 years. Okay. Granted, nobody wants to pull out a dry hydrant with dirty water and put them in our trucks and possibly cause damage to the pumps. But when you're over in Blue Mound and Centerville or west of Mound City, there's no Public Wholesale 13 water to be had. So you have to draft water. If you're in Centerville, they got a hydrant there. There's no way to get water there to put out a structure fire. So it's just something we have to do. Okay. If you want the points, you got to do the stuff. You got to document them. So, I will, Chastity, I saw your email on the landowner's contract. That was probably back in, 2000 to 2004. I know I have a contract, a copy of one. I know at the time, every person that put a dry hydrant in signed that contract with the commissioners. In fact, I think it was there a Cannon that used to be a commissioner in Linn County? Cannon? I mean, we're back in 2000. I just remember that name because all 3 commissioners signed. Other than that, that's about all I have. I'm just concerned that we're wasting time not getting some of this stuff taken care of. And if we don't get this thing taken care of, and you're not going to be able to get this taken care of in October, November, because they're going to want to see months of records, ISO, when they come back. They're going to want to see months of records. So any questions?
So you're saying that we should start with by reappointing a fire board?
I would. I mean, right now, go read your documents, and then I've got a letter from the Linn County Journal. It's very clear that Danny and Jim were pretty proactive about getting rid of it. Maybe under Randy's.
Well, and I voted for it too.
I know you did. But the thing is, what is good for the citizens? Okay. There were some complaints that the firemen were telling the fire chief to do. what to do. I never, I sat on that board for 15, 20 years. I never witnessed that. But here again, if you're gonna appoint a board, you need to appoint reasonable people. You can't appoint somebody that's gonna be a yes man for you. You gotta, I mean, guys that can think, guys that are thinking about what's good for the county. Anyways, and I think you need to, and I don't know what your plans are. I think I read that you appointed Brian Schroyer as interim fire chief the other day. You know, I don't know if you're posted yet, but you got, if you're gonna get some of this stuff fixed, you got to get going, get somebody qualified, hired to accomplish these goals. So.
Okay.
And I'd like to say thank you to Chastity. She was gone last week and she got a bunch of stuff ready for me and I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
One other thing I forgot, Randy made the comment that, these little towns can't provide water. Lake States. So 2017, we were at 13. Let me back up. 2017, we're at 22. 2017, we dropped to 13. Lacine scored 30 points on their last summer. They scored 30 of the 40 points.
On water.
On water.
They just put a new water system in, didn't they?
I've been upgrading.
Yeah, they did. Lacine did do some upgrade. But it's doable. And the only way we're going to do it here in Linn County is with porta tanks. I talked to a lot of guys. They can't remember the last time they've dropped a tank. They can't remember.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. Okay. Do we have anything else before interviews?
If you guys are considering the fire board again, can you just, I'm not familiar with how that was structured. If Chastity could pull some information or resolutions or how those, if that's something you guys are interested in, I would just like to review it, how it was in the past.
I'm good with reviewing it.
I don't know if there was, I don't know what, if it was a resolution or what that was, but if she can pull any information on that and put that in our SharePoint, I'd like to look at that.
Okay.
And then at some point, we do need to make a decision. I don't know if you want to go into executive session and discuss that on EM and fire. Those will be separated, or if they'll be going out to hire someone for both positions together.
Okay. You want to do that now?
I'm fine with that.
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for 10 minutes for non-elected personnel, KSA 754319B1 with the clerk, the commissioners, and legal counsel.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. There was no action from executive session. Does anybody have anything else? If not, I'll make a motion that we recess until 11:30 when we have our Economic Development Services interview.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we're back in session. We'll be going into executive session to interview for the Economic Development Services position. I'll make a motion that we go into executive session for non-elected personnel for 15 minutes with the three commissioners, the clerk. Are you coming back? You want to come back? So, and legal counsel. That's my motion. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Said 15 minutes. We'll return at 11:46. It's easier when your computer's open. All right, anything else for today?
No action.
No action from executive session? Thank you, Jim. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Meeting adjourned.